All right. All right. All right. Hey, guys, how are you? Thanks for watching. Please, please, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell every time I go live in YouTube. You'll get a notification. And please share this video with your friends because this is some really interesting information I'm going to give out here. Not as interesting as my barefoot shoes, but it's pretty important. And I put the subtitle relative to what down there for a reason. And there's this title that's all relative for an even more important reason. So I'll begin by saying this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner, not a nurse. I'm a guy going on a journey trying to live a better life, be healthier, and live longer. That being said, there are a lot of things that have been thrown at me in my life that were told, I was told, were very effective medications or other things. And what was just told to me, let me just share this slide and you'll get the idea, all right? Because I think it's important. So here we go. Anybody else take a atorvastatin, Lipitor? What does that say right there? This is Dr. Jack Kevorkian, by the way, or Robert Jarvik. I mean, he invented the artificial heart, Robert Jarvik. So they used Robert Jarvik to sell a drug that's supposed to prevent heart disease because, hey, if you don't take care of yourself, you'll be getting one of his artificial hearts, which, by the way, didn't go so well either. Lots of clots involved with those and things like that. So it says right there in bold print, guys, reduces risk of heart attack by 30%. 36%. 36%. That's pretty big. I mean, if you're reading this, you're like, wow, 36%. This could really save my life. This could, oh man, I need to take this. Problem is, there's that little asterisk after it. See that little asterisk right there after it? What do you think that's about? Well, let's go down to the bottom and read what the asterisk really says. That means in a large clinical study, 3% of the patients taking the sugar pill or placebo had a heart attack compared to 2% of the patients taking Lipitor. Let's unpack that for a second. So if you have 100 patients taking placebo, you have 100 patients taking a statin, 98% of the people taking a statin don't have a heart attack. 97% of the people taking a placebo don't have a heart attack. What am I missing here? Take 97% versus 98%, not 36%, right? So 36% to me means that 36% of those patients in the Lipitor study didn't have a heart attack. But that's not the reality. The reality is 2%. That's that 36. Let me go back to that slide for a second. And here's where it comes in. That 36% number is what's called relative risk in the industry. Many doctors use it when they do research papers because it makes their results look great. Right? These researchers, they say, well, we had this little change, but if you look at what could have happened and what did happen, that's why you see like a 2,000-fold increase in, like, they'll say, oh, it could 2,000% better. The simple fact is they're taking real numbers and multiplying or dividing them and coming up with these exaggerated numbers. You are not going to have a 36% reduced risk of having a heart attack if you take Lipitor. You're going to have a 1% chance. Think about that for a second. So when you go to your doctor, and this is the advice I'm giving you, I'm not telling you not to take a medication. I'm not telling you to do any of that. This is important, okay? When you go see your doctor, get as informed as you can about a medication that he wants to put you on. What are the side effects? What is the efficacy rate of it? There are plenty of things recently where we're finding out that the efficacy rate of things weren't checked. So we were sold a bill of goods on it. So there is no relative risk because there is no risk. Actually, there's a total risk. That's another story. So if you don't know the real risk, the absolute risk, and that's the words you want to use. What is the absolute risk? This is what I need to know. You might make the wrong decision about taking that medication. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying don't take a medication if you need it. What I'm saying is to know whether or not that medication will actually help you or not. And I won't go into detail about it, but there's a thing out there called numbers needed to treat. And numbers needed to treat basically means how many people would we have to treat to help one person. And you can look that up, just type in a search engine, numbers needed to treat, and take a look at whatever medications you're on and see if they're efficacious or not. It's there in black and white. So the other thing is that how does an ad like that get published? Well, let's go back to something that happened back in 2000 and into 2004 for a second. I'm going to go back to my slides. And you might remember this drug, Vioxx, has since been pulled from the market. Why? Well, the reality is that Vioxx was killing people. And what's really bad and why Merck had to pull it, this is a presentation put together by a law company, Anapol and Schwartz. Thank them for doing this work. Okay, I don't know if you can really read that too well, but right here, it says that this vigor study that they made, that they undertook to get the prescription, to get this drug FDA approved, showed some effect from heart, from cardiovascular. But they never did the study to study it further because it would be too expensive to do that. So we're not going to worry about that. So as the timeline goes on, heart attack, stroke, all of these things result. And a lot of people died taking Vioxx. And all because, well, and here's the reality of it. One of the reasons why all this information, because a lot of this gets published in medical journals. And then it gets picked up by the press because they watch the medical journals to see what research is coming out. But here's the problem with that. This is a guy who is actually former British Medical Journal editor. Hello, I can't speak anymore. Right? He's now a United Health of Europe executive. What's he saying? Maintain reasonable skepticism when evaluating the validity of published drug studies and related published literature. Medical journals are an extension of the marketing arm of drug companies. So what's happening is that these drug companies do a study, their money, their researchers, their hopeful outcome, and they publish that study they get it published in the journal, they'll pay the journal. So that might not even be perfect science, but it's getting out there because they're paying for it. Think about that. Here's another one. Journals have devolved into information laundering operations for pharmaceutical companies. This is the guy who actually publishes the Lancet, which is a huge medical journal. Huge. So I'm not telling you don't trust anybody. I'm telling you do your own research. Because don't forget, in 2004, Vioxx got pulled from the market because it was killing people. And this is what I'm going to tell you. My personal experience. I'm not telling you anything else but what happened to me. Okay? I have been on Lipitor or atorvastatin for a long time and a pretty good dose of it. I am told that statin is supposed to lower my LDL cholesterol and my triglycerides to prevent me from having a heart attack. In February of this year, I had an 80% blockage of 2 of the major arteries in my left heart. What did the statin do for me? And some may be saying right now, well, maybe you ate some junk. My diet, ask any of my friends, guys, my diet was pretty damn good. I followed those guidelines. Even Joan hates how religious I am about the way I eat because I want to live. Well, I'm pretty sure that telling me that this is going to save my life, no, it won't. No, it won't. It didn't do anything. It was a useless medication that I took for almost 9 years, maybe more. Talk to your doctor. Find out the absolute risk when you get a medication prescribed to you. Be careful out there. Take care of yourself. Eat the right foods for the human being diet. That's what I'm going to tell you. Stay away from starches. Don't eat any starches. Throw away any sugar in your house. Get rid of it. It will not do any good for you. That's a good start. Stop eating starchy foods. That includes bread, potatoes, and rice. Because guess what? Starches are just really complex sugars. Let's say complex carbs, but it's sugars. And then stop using sugar. And when I say that, I mean, when you go to the store, if you pick up a box, look at the box. If it says added sugar, don't eat it. Even if it has natural sugar, don't eat it. You might eat a few leafy green vegetables here and there, but I would recommend highly not eating any starches or sugar anymore if you want to have a healthier life. All right. That's what I have for you today. It's all relative, my friends. Be well.